I didn't think it was practical, I didn't think the timing right, and I didn't think it was, doable with the legislature or anything like that. So I didn't think it could be done. I still don't think it can be done under current circumstances. But the plan was well intended, because then you could have a separate school system, you could have the types of schools of your choice, you could, have the type of responsible leadership that is necessary to run a school system. But the thought I had, and I went down to state capitol a few years ago, bounced around, and it was pretty well received in private by a couple of people, but this is a fairly radical idea. I've not brought it up because I didn't want to disrupt the community, and I didn't want to disrupt the politics of the community and everything, but I think at this point its time has come that it needs to be vetted, and it may be a solution, solves a lot of problems. I hope you're sitting down, Edward. I think based on the Milton County legislation, if we had some smart lawyers like Edward Lindsay at the table, we could create the County of Buckhead. County of Buckhead. And the county can raise its own police force. It has a sheriff by the Constitution. It can have its own school district. And therefore, we control the schools to be closer to the people. And most people that have been opposed against Milton County have been because Buckhead is kind of getting stuck with the bill. Well, in this scenario, it wouldn't get stuck with the bill. Also, most people say we're trying to work against the city of Atlanta. But the county of Buckhead would not work against the city of Atlanta. Economically, it would actually help the city of Atlanta, because we'd still be part of the city of Atlanta. As most of you probably know, part of the city of Atlanta is in DeKalb County. So if it can be in 2 counties, why can't it be in 3 counties? And the economic development that would drive up the tax base even higher in Buckhead, those tax dollars would still support the city of Atlanta. So the city of Atlanta government would not be hurt. It would actually be helped from an economics perspective. We would, there is a provision in the current legislation at the state level that says the county seat should be, similar to the past county seat. Well, Atlanta could be the county seat of two counties, actually, technically. Now, there is a little issue with having boundaries similar to the previous counties, but the proposal for Milton County is nowhere near the original boundary from the original Milton County. So, like I said, if we have some smart lawyers down at the legislature, they could probably figure that out. We'd also deal with the issue of Fulton County government. Atlanta would be in the remainder of Fulton County, and that's about all the Fulton County government takes care of right now anyway. So I think Fulton County would be fine. The one that would take a financial hit would be the Atlanta public school system. It would take a financial hit, but it would have to get organized and would have to take appropriate actions. I think the foundation community, with the right plan, would step up and support even stronger the Atlanta public school system. Because the kids are the ones that we know that are being cheated in the city. And this community is being ignored. And they're thumbing their noses at us. And from everything I can tell from what went on the other day, it was driven by race, politics, and class. Does that sound like Atlanta? It sounds like Atlanta. It sounds like the bad characteristics of Atlanta, the city. And our city is supposed to be past that. And there's also some political ambition driving some of this nonsense. And I think people are just tired of it, absolutely tired of it. So when I try to solve the problem, I'm saying you could deal with the Fulton County issue, you could deal with the APS issue, you could deal with security and safety. We could end up having not only the best private school system in the state, we could end up with the best public school system in the state overnight. And we could have the safest community in the state overnight. And we could still support the city of Atlanta. And of course, there's things that would have to be worked out. But we also could focus on parks, which is near and dear to a lot of our hearts. And we could enhance that. And we all do that anyway, through other nonprofits and so forth. And then the infrastructure of the city of Atlanta, if it has more revenue, we can focus on that too. So, I don't know. It's an idea I've sat on for a long time. I figured at this point, things are so bad, you've got nothing to lose. Put it out there. Let it be vetted. and let people put holes, try to punch holes in it. I mean, one of the problems we have is all this talk down at the school board and everywhere else, whether it's downtown or wherever, it's all done in secret. It's not done out in the open. I mean, some of you don't know, I went down to City Hall a few weeks ago, and they wouldn't let us speak to the land use or the zoning issues. So I gave them a lecture in 2 minutes on good economic development, open government, and ethics, and told them what we expected and how we expected them to vote. And they got the message, and y'all did the work, the heavy lifting after that. But, I mean, I think it's come a time where it calls for drastic measures, and things like this really need to be vetted. And maybe it'll stir them up enough, to do the things the community wants with the structures we have. Edward's done a lot of effort on that for Fulton County. I give him credit for that. But sometimes you got to, you don't want to take half a load. Maybe it's about time to demand a full load and really fix it so we don't have to deal with the same nonsense at all the different levels. So it's not an anti-Atlanta plan. I would say it's a pro-Atlanta plan. It's a pro-Buckhead plan. And we're here to protect the interests of the people and the children of Buckhead. And so anyway, I've sat on this idea for 4 to 5 years. I hadn't even shared it with Glenn. Probably down there chuckling. But, I think it's a serious time. We should treat this matter seriously. And there's such systematic problems with these different governments, particularly Atlanta Public Schools, that I think it takes an action like this or a discussion like this or an initiative like this to really solve it. So that's my piece. That's the prerogative of the chair. But I'll open the floor to questions or other alternatives to right the situation.